What's good? One Crack News, we are at it again. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit up the Carcino for Life Patreon, where we will go more in depth on this subject today. But this is the PG version, so we will keep this very PG. As many know, they've seen throughout time, we've always seen ourselves at the lesser of a situation. We never see ourselves in the position of corporate executive, boss, leader. We're so used to being conditioned to accept what's on the table. That was even passed down from our forefathers before us. Fool, you better take that good money. Turn down that good money, fool. That's good money. Better get that money. So, when you hear reactions such as those, it makes you react, makes you jump out at, makes you want to get involved. Now, I don't think there's ever been a case where I said, you know, I might be wrong in this instance. But when it comes to Jemele Hill, I've never been more right. See, Jemele Hill she has this entitlement that has come along since her popularity. You know, Jemele is a writer. That's what she's known to be, off camera, writing. That's where she was comfortable. And they put her on television. They saying, well, you got a quality that we need right now, plus we need a black face. So ESPN told her, well, we need you to get out there and flaunt it. So they put her on a show with Michael Smith just to say they're not bigoted. So when they did put that show together, it was clear that show was created just so they could say, see, we gave y'all a show. Then it became on the 6th. The His and Hers show ended up becoming on the 6th. And on the 6th became one of the top programs allowed or around. So, with those things being said, we saw how they dismantled that once Jemele Hill and what she did on Twitter. Let it be known, nothing that was done on the show tainted anything. But what was done on Twitter, that was the defining moment. What was done on Twitter. That's what doomed her show. and put her in the limelight. And they took her and put her back into writing. She was off the air. She wanted to go back to writing. She was like, I never wanted to do this anyway. I want to go back to writing. Bet. Now you're back at writing. So when she returns back to writing, what happened after that? What happened to the Southern Belle? Well, the Midwest Belle from Detroit. She was back on television, on everybody else's show. Trump wanted her fired. Now, the Play Woke ESPN said that we should never discuss politics on the show. But since they've gotten rid of Michael Smith and Jemele Hill, that's all they talk about is politics, right? Jemele Hill's already married. She's married to the Liberal Party. So, Jemele Hill, who went through this struggle alone with Michael Smith, found her umbrella and her calling as the liberals came swooping right in. They found her a nice liberal black man who just gonna shut up and be docile because she couldn't find a man, so they found one for her. Said, here you go. We have a nice pick of our liberal black man that's known to be docile and shut up and follow your lead. Which one do you want? I like him. He's yours. Thanks for shopping here, Jemele Hill. And that's all you know about her husband. Meanwhile, Michael Smith, who they wanted to continue the show, said, I won't do it without Jemele Hill. So they said, okay, you won't? All right, well then you don't. So he sacrificed his job for Jemele Hill. Then, all of a sudden, all these takes of hers that used to be non-biased started to become more and more left agenda based. Everything. Till she fell out of the sports world altogether. The person that didn't want to be on television seemed to be on television a lot. She wants to be on the screen now. She didn't want to go back to being a writer. Now she loves it. So she got with the other one, Carrie Champion, but she's just viewed as angry black woman. Never be satisfied. So they shun her. And anything with her in it, they just blow it right up. She too angry. Can't be angry and black. That's a no-no. So now, since she's on this liberal train, all of her content has been going in that way. It's been anti-anything masculinity, which is shocking. And they claim to be pro-black, but it's pro-black under someone else's control, is what they promote. But it's funny to me, her show, Jemele Hill Unbothered, which was put on Spotify, which wasn't really bringing in the viewership that they thought Spotify did. All of a sudden, she's ready to leave and take her show, shut down our whole network, and leave Spotify. And there was the thing that she demanded $100 million like Joe Rogan. And of course, the world erupted and everybody was like, hell no. But I didn't comment on it. And here's why I didn't comment on it. I didn't want to comment on it because it's trending. I wanted to get information to provide it for you so that when I do speak on it, you know I've done the research. You know Sino has went through this whole thing front to back. Now what I did was give y'all a breakdown from the beginning all the way to here so we can get to this point so there'll be nothing skipped. Now Jemele Hill decided in her infinite wisdom it would be imperative for her to leave her show or leave Spotify because she's not seeing herself get the type of revenue that she's seeing being allotted to others who are in her bracket. See, once you're on Spotify, you get to see the numbers. You get to see what all the other shows are doing. The numbers that are not shown to the public, you get to see those when you have a show on there. Now, what she felt is that she didn't get the support that other shows were getting. Absolutely, she felt like she was not getting the support. And she never, ever requested she get $100 million. She was saying, why don't Spotify give $100 million to someone of color, their podcast? I would love to see Spotify do that. And insinuating that Spotify is racist. Here's the thing. What she's upset about, and she unfairly brings Joe Rogan into the equation, because Joe Rogan has the viewership. He has the people. That's why they paid him $100 million, because his show is worth more than that. You see, it's about paying your worth. Unfortunately, Jemele Hill, you're not worth that. Unfortunately, there's not a show that's on Spotify that has a black anything that's worth $100 million. And I've searched. I've checked them out. There's no podcast show that we have. I'm not saying the quality isn't better than Joe Rogan. I'm just saying from the viewership standpoint, for the actual one, and what she's really upset about is the direction and the actual plans with the media marketing for her podcast and her network with Spotify. See, what Spotify and other companies will have problems with creators is that there's only 24 hours in a day. Right? So if it's 24 hours in a day, there's only so much time in that day that you can allot something or program to something. Now, more than one thing's going to come on at the same time. Does not mean everyone could only listen to that. Certain people will listen to you. Other people would go and do something else. Now, Joe Budden reminds me of this situation because he had the same gripe with Spotify, which made him get mad and want to leave. Because they didn't understand it wasn't about the money. It was more about how things was being distributed and how it was going to affect them down the road. Because it's saying, hey, we sacrificed, we put up a lot of money, and we're putting in our own money almost to keep this thing afloat. This is where it's supposed to turn around. But you're going to want our IP address, which is being loaned to you because we own it. We're loaning it out to you, but you want that as collateral for money. But you're doing things to sabotage the show, to keep the show down, while you put your attention towards the shows you want to promote. So for Jemele Hill's show, they were promoting other shows, basically going against her show, and that show is also sponsored by Spotify. So of course, the same thing happened with Joe Budden when they had the Amy Schumer podcast show coming out. They put that, promoted that, put money into that. It's Amy Schumer, she's coming to Spotify. They were all excited, thinking this is gonna ring in big money. And she's just not ready for her podcast. Well, Jemele Hill feel like the attention isn't going her way. Her show doesn't have that kind of viewership to even rival a show that would be paid in those type of numbers. But rather than wanting to put in the work, they feel like we built this platform enough. You should want to have this because we're black. And without us and being pro-black, if you don't support Jemele Hill, you don't support black. That's a terrible analogy. And that's what's wrong today. We never see things for what it is. Exactly. Why would they give you 100 million? So Joe Rogan just gets 100 million just because he's white. Hell, he should have showed up a long time ago. He came in the game pretty late. And that's all you got to do to get 100 million. Hey, shoot, anybody come get that check. But it's Jemele Hill. Like I said, the Patreon version will be way more off the chart. You're listening to the easy listening PG version of this. But Jemele Hill is someone that other people have to realize is an industry left-wing apologist. She promotes anything left-wing. All that black ownership stuff she talks and empowerment only when it fits the agenda and the narrative. Of those who come before them. I never had any problems with that. Let me go this way. Watch out for Sesame. Oh, I ain't go down Sesame Block today. He didn't spook me. Watch out for old Sesame. Every time I pass that house now, but think about old Sesame. He said that was a message they sending you. They were upset you moved in. Sesame, the messenger. That could have been the case. They could have said, man, who is this guy? Who does he think he is moving in our neighborhood, doing what the hell he wants to do when he wants to do it? I gotta go to work every day. I don't see this guy do a goddamn thing. Goddamn drug dealers. Tell you, he's a drug dealer, honey. You ever seen that guy go to work? Maybe he works from home. Shut up, you're stupid. Get him, Sesame. Drive him out. Y'all gonna have a whole theory behind it. Well, the narratives, they all shift. So when the narratives shift, what do you normally get? Right? When the narrative shift. What is Jemele Hill gonna do? See, Jemele Hill suffers from a case of what else was I supposed to do? They wrote me in as this Trump hater, so the liberals came with a big fat check. So here I am. That's what she did. She bit the apple and ran with it. But it's funny how they always try to paint the left side as the black side, which is stupid because it's so further from the truth, because we still haven't gotten anything, and ain't the left in power? They had the Congress, they had the House, they got the White House, and we helped elect all of them in. What did you get out of it? Do you hear Jemele Hill unbothered about that? She seemed pretty unbothered by the fact that we don't have anything. So maybe if her show was real and it was really unbothered, the thing is, maybe you need to get bothered, because you should be bothered by all this. And I think that's the problem. She's not bothered enough. So on the K Carcino for Life Patreon, we will crush this whole thing down to a minimum. And then I could be unbothered. I could be unfiltered, rather. Because here, this is pretty filtered. Oh, I used to love Jemele Hill. Boy, them double D's stacking up on the show every day. Oh, thickums. I'm like, all right, we got a nice thick one on there from Detroit. Used to like the little cute freckles and everything. Then she went and got herself all glammed up. And now she don't want to do anything but walk around with that robot husband of hers. Now they chilling with the Obamas. Now gay is in, black female is in, black male, he's out to the side. Unless he's standing behind. Hey! Hey, hello. Yeah. See, look at that. Kids got more manners than the parents. You see, the kid had to make his father say hi. Kid was hi. And we was like, okay, hi. Hey. I speak back and he said, Dad, say hi. And the dad sitting there, hi. I'm, hey, what's up? Tell you, baby. That's what I tell you. That kind of hate is instilled. No one's born with those views about other people. It's instilled in you from all the hate that's in the world. Television, media, households, where it stems from. But yeah, I'm getting around rule breakers. So I need to get around. I was about to go in and say some stuff about Jemele Hill, but I realized that's got to be on the Patreon. Because if I say it here, y'all gonna want me to keep going. But the $100 million story was told in distortion for a reason. Don't buy a house you can't keep up. That house is worth about $400,000 or higher. And the way it looks, it's awful. It's god awful. Grass, everything is god awful. Can you imagine what it looks like on the inside? I'm saying, right? If it looks like that, hey, what's up?
The bus? You have a bus? I thought it was a car.
Oh no, that check been cashed. Joshua, check been cashed. Oh well, trust me, the Patreon version will be well worth it. Well worth it. I'm all for it. Either that or she's a 36D. Okay. Hey,
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. Everybody's getting to it today.
Yeah, everybody's doing something.
Yeah. Whew. Man, they got everybody getting with it. Everybody around here with it. I know, seems like you're in the forest, right? You in the backyard of the casino. Hey, whew, that is bad. Oh yeah. Ah. And just like that, it's time to get to the Patreon.